At your nails like this. Like, what do you do? And when you're showing off your nails to people, do you show it to them like this, or do you show it to them like this? Because that really is what determines how you put the stickers on, or the design on. Because if you show people your nails like this, you'd want, you know, like summer vibes, for example. If I put it facing outwards to who I show my nails to, then when I look at them like this, it's gonna be upside down. But if you look at your nails like this, then it won't be upside down. So that's always a challenge for me, because I like taking my nail fees a lot of the times like this instead of like this. But when I look at my own nails, I like going like this. So I think because I'm going to be the one looking at my nails the most, I'm going to oh my gosh, I can't decide. No, yes, I'm just going to do it like this. So I'm going to have the designs show up like this, and I'm just going to take a nail fee like that this time around instead of like this, because it'll be upside down if I do it like this. Alright, it's decided. It is decided, and we're going to go with it. So let me get this going with the summer vibes. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to use Champagne Fizz on my thumb and in my pinky, and then I was going to use Treasure Island on these two, and then I was going to use the Lokelani Rose Twosie on my ring finger. So summer vibes, I'm going to put you right smack dab in the middle there. And let's do it to the other side. For those who are watching, do you have any fun summer plans? For me, it's funny because Memorial Day I always had felt was the start of summer, but summer doesn't actually start according to the calendar until like late June, which is, you know, tomorrow. And I've already had like summer vibes in my brain since Memorial Day. But yeah, tomorrow's actually first day of summer solstice. Alright. The thing is I'm not going to put nail stickers on all of my nails, so I got to figure out some of these, because I cut my nails really short, are not going to fit. So I need to figure out how I want to do this, because I'm not going to be using nail stickers on everything. So I think what I'm going to do, because these two are going to be the same, and then these two are going to be the same, and then this one's not going to be the same, I'm going to put palm trees on these two, because I just wanted to see the layering, like how it's going to look. So do I want the palm trees facing this way, and then facing that way? Or do I want it like that and facing that way? Yeah, okay, I think I like that. Alright, we're going to use this for the middle finger. And the one thing with these nail stickers, they're relatively inexpensive if you buy them off of sites like Temu or Shein. Like, I believe this one was less than $1 for a set that had 2 sheets of stickers So yeah. Nail stickers are a lot of fun to use when you're trying to get a specific look that perhaps isn't available in the nail wraps. So you can do a lot of fun things for relatively inexpensive. But with these nail stickers, you got to be really careful, because if they're very delicate, if you pull too roughly, they could tear. So it takes a lot of patience, and I know not everyone's got the time and the patience for it. But when I do my nails, again, it's my me time, usually pretty early in the morning or pretty late at night. So yeah. Oh yeah. I'm loving that already by itself. But we are going to be layering. So let's see what this is going to look like after we layer, because that's going to be the fun challenge of seeing how that's going to look. So I want this one here for my other side of my middle finger and my ring finger. But yeah, as far as summer plans go, nothing really planned except for in August we'll be doing some babysitting for my sister, Michelle. So I am going to be very excited to spend some time with my other niece and nephew. You know what I realized is that I should have used that one, because this one and this one aren't exactly the same. But you know what? It still looks good. We'll save that one for later. Alright, but this is the one I need on my ring finger. Alright. Here we go. There was a Color Street set that was before my time called Hawaiian Half-Light that had plumeria flowers. I think they were plumeria flowers. Or were they hibiscus flowers? I don't know. They had flowers and palm trees, and it was a lighter shade than the Solar Flare. It was almost like a semi-sheer glitter underneath. And I absolutely loved that set. Never had a chance to get my hands on it, or get it on my hands, I should say. But I always like to mimic that set because it's really beautiful. Alright, so here we got this. What time is it? Still got plenty of time. Now we're going to do some layering. So let's first put these away, because hopefully if I seal them just right, I might be able to use them for another mixed mani later. But if not, they have gone through a bunch of manicures already as it is. So if I end up losing them, it's okay. I have to, when I do mixed manis, be okay with the sets not working after they've been heat sealed, because they don't always work, but most of the time they do. And yesterday when I was doing my niece's mixed manis, the littlest one was drinking a drink, and she somehow spilled the drink over a lot of the leftover sets that we had open. So had to kind of throw out a bunch of the leftovers, which made me sad, but again, they're leftovers, so no point crying over it. But yeah, it was just like, oh my gosh. So had to really hold back my frustration there, because at the end of the day, it's just nails. So yeah, but I was just like, oh my god. Alright, moment of truth here. We are going to layer this. I'm going to use this on my ring finger, but see how sheer that is? So I was hoping with layering these sets, the sheerness will still shine through over, so it almost looks like a haze. I want it to look kind of like a hazy summer vibe, because that's literally what California has been looking like lately. It's been really June gloom in full force, and so summer's been looking a little hazy. Let's see. This one I know is kind of like small for my ring finger, but because this is a mystery Twosie challenge and I only have these two, I have to make it work with this. And I probably could have moved it slightly over this way so that it could fit better, but it is what it is. I already laid it down, so that is what we have to work with, and that's okay, because no one's really gonna stare at my nails that much except for me. But yeah, there we go. Oh, and sometimes there's little bubbles. If I don't lay it down properly, there'll be like a little bit there. But yeah, see how it's kind of milky? That was what I was actually hoping for. So that is still giving off the exact look I want. It's just that I missed just a teensy bit over here. But again, no one's gonna really be able to tell, and I'll probably likely use my left hand as my nailfie hand. Nobody really stares at nails for very long. So if I just go like this, like, no one will notice. Alright, so the other side. And I'm going to try to save a little piece of this to put on a nailfie stick, or not a nailfie stick, a nail stick, which I'll show you guys what that is. I learned that from Tara Stoddard as well. She does that with some of the nails that she uses, so she can kind of keep track of which ones she's used and be able to like just like reminisce, I guess. I don't know. I like keeping them. It does make me feel sometimes like I am a nail salon. Because I'll tell you, I'll show you. I have a whole collection of all the ones that I've used so far. And I like keeping them. This one's just the designs. I have 3 others like that for different types of nails. Alright, but I was going to put this on and then write the name of the set on it so I can remember what I've used. So let's put this here. Now, Lokelani Rose came out with the summer collection of Color Street, and it's still available, so if you like the sheerness of that set, I've seen folks use it without other colors underneath it for like just a sheer wash of pale pink color, and so that's really pretty if you're just looking for something simple. But I'm loving that hazy vibe with that palm tree. That's beautiful. Alright. Next, Champagne Fizz. So this was one that came with the May subscription box. what was it called? Tropical Garden Party, I want to say is what it was called. So I'm going to layer Champagne Fizz over my thumb. Wait, yeah, my thumb and my pinky. That's what I wanted to do with Champagne Fizz, because I have a whole bunch of them left. Oh, I have a fan on because it's actually finally getting warm here in California. So the fan kind of blows things all around. Alright, these teeny tiny ones are too tiny for my nails. So I like saving them typically for my nieces because they're perfect for their little tiny fingers. So I'm going to save that because they're probably going to want to use it. This is the one I usually use for my pinky, and because I cut my nails shorter, my pinky I could usually use just the one, and I think you might have seen me do it with Solar Flare, where I use one on one hand and then the other on the other hand. And so I'm going to do that right now. Add a sheer layer on top. What's good about these almost clear overlays of glitter or designs is that sometimes when you use just the one set of Color Street, and mostly when you're using solids, for some reason, because your nails are bendy, they're bendable, they're flexible, just like with regular nail polish. See, I can't use this with my left hand, so let's try and see if I can salvage this one. With just one layer, it's sometimes you'll start seeing cracks. And that's with the regular nail polish too. If you keep it on long enough, and I'm not talking about like gel polish that you use at the salons and stuff like that, but if you use regular nail polish, like I remember having to do my nails like every 3 days because my nails would chip or crack, and the polish itself, I mean, would chip or crack, and I would have to do it again. So with Color Street, same thing, because it's 100% real nail polish. You'll sometimes see that happening with the cracks. But if you're layering more than one set, oftentimes it's thick enough where it almost has that consistency like gel nails, where it won't crack. And it's much easier to take off than gel nails. So that is why I love Color Street. And plus I get to be super creative. I used to be very awkward when going to the nail salon, and most of the time I didn't do manicures at the nail salon because I would just wreck them. Like the day I walk out of the salon, I would wreck them that same day. So it was not worth it. And I did gel nails just the one time, and if you don't go to the salon to remove them, and you try to remove them yourself, it is not fun trying to remove them yourself. So I decided that was not for me. Oh, look at that extra gold shimmer to that. I'm liking that a lot. Okay. And then I was going to put the thumbs. I was going to do the thumbs. So let's do that. Or should I do my pointer finger? No, I'm going to do the thumbs. And actually, let's save the thumbs for last. And use Treasure Island really quick so don't do this at home, but sometimes when I cut, I have my fingers placed in the wrong spot. I had cut myself yesterday when I was doing my niece's nails, and I had told them, be careful with the scissors, and of course, what do? I cut myself. So it healed after a little bit. I put a band-aid over it, and it ended up healing, but it was not fun. I'm not a fan of seeing blood. So, okay. I want this one for my middle finger. This one for my middle finger. And then for my pointer finger, one of these two. Save this one. That could be used if I stretch it a little bit. Should be able to use it on my thumbs later for another mixed mani. So let's see. I think it's this one that I'm able to use on my pointer finger. So let's pull those, put these, try to save them for another time. Alright, how are we on time? Oh, perfect. Almost done here too. Hey, I might actually do this on time. Alright, so here we go. More layering. I can't remember how sheer this one is. I do remember it being a little bit sheer, but it looks like it's going to be less sheer than the Lokelani Rose. But this Treasure Island was from the Hidden Treasures color play box in March. And it looked very much like Alter Ego, which was another set that Color Street had come out with one of its small mini launches. So I remember when we got our color play boxes, those of us that are big Color Street fans and subscribe to the sub boxes, we were all comparing Treasure Island with Alter Ego. But yeah. Oh, I'm loving that. This makes me want to go to Hawaii. I've been to, so when I was in college and I worked for Mervyn's, for those who remember Mervyn's, which no longer exists, but that commercial for Mervyn's is always on my mind. Open, open, open. I used to work for Mervyn's, and I met a coworker friend who went to UC Irvine, just like I did, University of California, Irvine. And she asked if I wanted to go to Hawaii with her, and I've never been to Hawaii, so I was like, heck yeah. So the money that I had made while working at Mervyn's and tutoring and babysitting, I bought a plane ticket and went on a trip with that friend, and we went to Oahu. Now, Oahu, of all the Hawaiian Islands, is the most, like, city-like of them. So, which was nice. We did the pineapple maze, the Dole pineapple maze, and this is how old I was. I actually had a camcorder I brought along with me. Camcorders, I swear, don't exist anymore because we all use our Android phones, our smartphones, and our iPhones as recording devices now. But back in the days, we had camcorders with videotapes and all that. And I brought a camcorder, and we were in that Dole pineapple maze and got slightly lost in there. And I have a video very reminiscent of like Blair Witch Project type vibes of us like freaking out trying to get out of that pineapple maze. It wasn't dark, so luckily it didn't get dark or anything like that, but that was one of my most memorable memories from that trip. And then I went to my first luau that year too, so that was cool. But that was my first Hawaiian island that I had visited. The second Hawaiian island that I visited with family was Maui. Maui was one of my most favorite of all the Hawaiian islands. Well, actually, is my favorite, I should say, because I've only been to 3. I haven't been to the Big Island. But Maui was next. Maui was very memorable because on that trip, my brother proposed to his girlfriend, now wife. And so that was a very memorable trip. And my Uncle Harry, may he rest in peace, he and my Aunt Cecilia, my cousin Scott, you know, my brother, my sister, my sister-in-law Abby, my mom. I think that was it. I think that's all of us for the Maui trip. And so that one was a very memorable trip. Because of my brother proposing to my sister-in-law Abby. And then the last Hawaiian island that I've been to is Kauai. And Kauai was also memorable because it was very rainy. There were a ton of roosters. If you've ever been to Kauai, wild roosters crowing at all odd hours. Lots of rain, very tropical. Kauai was the most island-like of the 3 Hawaiian islands that I visited. And my niece Emmeline was only a few months old, I think, when we ended up going to Kauai, and she was on that trip with us too, so that made that memorable as well. This was all before meeting Panda Bear. So Panda Bear's never been to Hawaii, so I'm hoping one of these days we will end up going to Hawaii. My hope is that we go to the Big Island, because I've never been, but if it's his first time going to Hawaii and it won't be his last, maybe perhaps we can go back to Maui, because again, Maui's my favorite. Because it's a nice mix of the tropical, but still city-like enough where it's not too crazy with the weather. But Oahu would be nice too, because my friend Lily and her husband and kid moved out to Oahu. So, I don't know. Don't know if... I'm not the biggest fan of flying, and especially now after the pandemic, I'm even more like hesitant about flying. And I know it's an irrational fear, but it's a fear nonetheless. And the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to fly, but can't get to Hawaii without flying. So if I want to go to Hawaii, have to get over that. But most of my vacations as of late have been driving to destinations. So, alright, one last one and we are done. 8 minutes to, so this is just a 2-parter. Fantastic. Much quicker than I have done previous mixed manis, so I'm very proud of that. I think probably because I didn't have to cut very much. And all of these are working, these leftover sets are working splendidly, so I don't have to like maneuver them in a certain way to get them to work properly. So that makes me happy. But here we are, summer vibes. My summer mystery Twosie mixed mani challenge manicure done and done. Even very little cleanup needed. So that also makes me very happy because I do need to wake up early tomorrow and head to work and finish catching up on missing one day of work. The work piles up. So, with that said, I'm sure Panda Bear is going to be happy to see that I didn't take up an hour and a half, 2 hours to do my nails this time around. But here we are. This is the finished look. Still kind of irked about this little tiny bit right here that I missed, but you know, it is what it is. This hand, of course, is going to be my nailfy hand for tomorrow, my left hand. So, that is all, and hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy tomorrow, the first day of summer, and peace.